These are indeed dark days for our formerly favored TV show. Many people keep holding out hope that Doctor Who can be saved, but as I've said on numerous occasions, I'm not one of them. 5 years ago, this would have been brilliant news, but not now. Babylon 5 boss says contact has been made with BBC over Doctor Who showrunner job. J. Michael Straczynski has previously tweeted his interest in taking over from Chris Chibnall. Now I hear what many of you are saying. You have a problem with Straczynski? No. Hell no. The man has more than proven himself, and Babylon 5 is one of the best sci-fi series in history, and one of the only franchises that hasn't been completely obliterated by the woke reign of terror of recent years. He'd make an amazing showrunner, but that ship has sailed. For one thing, as I keep saying over and over again, the fans have left, and many of them are never coming back. Like it or not, the current production team and cast have damaged the Doctor Who brand beyond repair in only 4 years. And there are other reasons, which I'll get into as we look at this article. Last month, Babylon 5 creator J. Michael Straczynski threw his hat into the ring to become the new Doctor Who showrunner, tweeting his interest in replacing Chris Chibnall when the latter steps down in 2022. If this were the old pre-woke BBC, then I'd say it could very likely be a possibility. Not now. Definitely not now. And now Straczynski has issued an update on the situation, revealing that contact has been made with the BBC about the soon-to-be vacancy for Doctor Who showrunner. And I think that is all it will probably be. Frankly, I'm surprised that the BBC even went as far as acknowledging him at all, since many fans would say that this is what the fans want, so why not at least consider it? Well, that argument goes out the window the second you remember that the BBC hates the fans of this show. The very reason that fans want this is one of the main reasons why the BBC would throw the idea out the window. They aren't worried about making money off this anymore. They still have the license fee for now, and they are only concerned about pushing their sick, twisted agenda and reminding former fans that this is their show now, and they can do whatever they want with it. They now select who can even be a fan and ostracize and denigrate everyone else. Replying to a fan who asked what the situation was on Twitter, he wrote, "Contact with the BBC has been made. They're of course going through their own process, which began before my tweet, and that has to run its course. But if those don't pan out and there's a discussion to be had, they will reach out. Well, unfortunately, we know there won't be a discussion to be had." He added, "Very courteous, so we'll see where their process leads. They may have been courteous to your face, but probably not so nice afterwards." Straczynski has impressive pedigree when it comes to sci-fi television, with his other works also including Jeremiah and Sense8, the latter of which he created alongside the Matrix filmmakers Lily and Lana Wachowski. And it seems that he would be a popular choice among Whovians. As I said, one of the main reasons why I don't see this ever happening. With one fan recently tweeting, "JMS created my all-time favorite show, and he'd be a perfect fit for Doctor Who." Agreed, it's definitely in my top 10. Well-written, well-developed characters, overarching plots that sucked you in. Yeah, the effects weren't great, but the show was made in the 90s, with little to no budget. But they did brilliantly with what they had to work with. And just like classic Doctor Who, you don't even notice the limited effects, because you get so sucked into the story. If BBC Studios hasn't hired a new showrunner, they should seriously consider Straczynski. So have said many people. But sorry, not gonna happen. Of course, given the BBC process Straczynski referred to in his tweet, it seems unlikely that the BBC would hand the reins over to someone not already on their radar, but at this stage, it's impossible to rule him out. And there it is. Of course, it's going to go to somebody, quote, on their radar. What that means to anybody that hasn't been paying attention for the past 4 years is another incompetent, agenda-pushing, and creatively bankrupt white dude amongst the BBC's elite, or those that are exempt from the checkbox list and see themselves as above us plebs, and therefore can decide who does and who does not get a job based on gender, race, sexual orientation, or whatever the hell else is on that list now, or it will just go to somebody that checks enough boxes themselves, and of course, this means that they won't have been given the position based on talent and ability, and of course, they're going to push twisted agendas because they themselves have benefited from discriminatory practices. Straczynski's original tweet, which was posted just a couple days after it became official that Chibnall would be stepping down, read, "I don't know if the BBC would ever consider an American to showrun #Doctor Who, but if so, I would be there in a heartbeat." Well, technically 2 heartbeats, since 2 hearts. Well, he already knows more than most of the people running the show at this moment. Here's my position. Prior to the destruction of the show after 2017, I was clear that the Doctor always needed to be played by a British actor. This does not hold true for the showrunner position. After all, Sidney Newman, who created the show in the first place, was a Canadian, so back then, I would have been fine with it. Meanwhile, Chibnall recently confirmed that he would have no role in choosing his Doctor Who successor, revealing that his decision was way above the pay grade of an incumbent showrunner. Your entire tenure as showrunner should have been above your pay grade, but that's true for pretty much everybody at the BBC right now. And you folks get to pay for this elitist trash with your license fees, except for those of you that have been smart enough to stop giving the BBC your money, so they can stop wasting it on lecturing elitist trash and the woke garbage that has been vomited onto British television screens for the past 3 years. Regardless of the showrunner or new Doctor, there are only 2 scenarios that are acceptable to me after the last 4 years. One is that the BBC is forced to sell off the franchise after the removal of the license fee, whenever and if ever that actually happens, to someone that will honor what the show was up to 2017, and not just retcon the entire Chibs era, but ignore it completely. I mean going back to Capaldi's regeneration, and picking up from there without any acknowledgement of anything that's happened since 2017. If the show remains with the BBC, then there is only one option that is acceptable. Cancel it and put it to rest. This will also finally shut up its fake degenerate fans, and they can move on to something else to demonstrate just how desperate they are to keep in good standing with their other woke degenerate friends. The longer the BBC remains in control of this once great franchise, the worse things are going to get. So in conclusion, if this news came out in 2017, I would be all for it. But not now. And that's it for today. As always, everyone, thanks for watching, and have a great day.